This new indie game, Gambler's Table, on paper, sounds ridiculous. It's an incremental game that released on January 11th where you flip coins, you make money, you buy upgrades, but this is absolutely one of those games you swear you'll only play for 5 minutes and then an hour disappears. So the setup is really simple. You start with a single copper coin sitting on a table. You click the coin to flip it, and if it lands on tails, which is this little dollar sign, you get paid. So obviously, you just keep flipping. More flips, more money, and before you know it, you're buying more copper coins, then silver coins, then gold coins, hiring little helpers to flip coins for you, and stacking multipliers, and slowly turning this quiet little table into absolute chaos. And as you progress, you're not just getting more stuff, you're getting better stuff. Bigger coins, more helpers, upgrading old coins. Eventually, you'll even unlock upgrades where your mouse basically becomes a magic wand. You just wave it over the coins and they start flipping, which sounds silly, but I'm telling you, once I got to that point, I literally found myself sitting there in my LED lit up game room, waving my mouse around and grinning like a possum and having an amazing time. But here's the fun part. Every coin flip doesn't just mean money. Sometimes the coin lands on the other side, shown as a skull. And at first you're like, rats, no money. But no, skulls are actually a second currency. The more skulls you get, the more you can spend them on hats and outfits for your little helpers. And the more skulls you spend, the more rare and ridiculous hats and outfits you get. And this system messed around and got me hooked, because suddenly I wasn't sure if I wanted money or skulls. Like, yeah, money is great because, upgrades, but also my little guy could be wearing a full jester outfit. So now every flip is a win either way. Remember that old playground joke where you'd flip a coin and say, heads I win, tails you lose, and flip the coin without giving them a chance to think about it? Yeah, well that actually applies here. You literally win either way. Didn't get the money? That's fine. Go shopping with your helper so you can step out in a cute new fit. I had a genuinely good time with this game, to the point where I actually got annoyed when I had to step away. That just one more upgrade feeling had me completely locked in. And it's one of those games where you're having fun while you're playing and you're also thinking about it when you're not. And the big reason for that is there is always something to do. Upgrade coins, upgrade helpers, add more helpers, add multipliers, spin skulls, and as someone who's played a lot of incremental and idle games, especially mobile ones, I'm used to clicking a few buttons and then being told to come back in 4 hours. Gambler's Table doesn't really do that. There's almost always something you can mess with, and if there isn't, you can just start waving your mouse and making exponentially more money. Eventually, you'll probably start wondering, okay, what happens when I buy everything? When I'm making tons of money, is that it? Oh no, that's where the skill tree comes in. So the more money you make, the more skill points you earn. You spend those points on a skill tree that gives you all these kinds of wild bonuses and multipliers. But, and this is the important part, the only way to actually activate those skill tree upgrades is to start the game over. And yeah, it hurt. But once I spread my skill points the way I wanted and hit that sacrifice button, it became really fun to watch how much faster everything progressed. Upgrades like if I had more silver coins than copper coins, my silver coins were worth 700% more. Or an oxidized power-up where if I didn't click a copper coin for a minute and a half, I could click them for a massive payout. Or unlocking Lucky Bounce, where a coin has a chance to flip again. And yeah, it hurts to start over. But see, sometimes in business, you gotta make sacrifices. And eventually, if you wanna make huge money, you're gonna have to sacrifice and start over again. Because that's how you unlock the next tier of coins, platinum and diamond. So even though it hurt every time, I love watching my new skill points create an even crazier board. And you can do this loop again and again. What I really love is how Gambler's Table works as an active game and an idle game at the same time. Your helpers can always flip coins for you while the game idles, so you can walk away, do stuff around the house, work on something else on your PC, and come back to more money. But it's way faster if you're actually there. Clicking, waving the mouse, causing problems. So yes, it's great as an idle game, but heavily rewards you for actively flipping yourself. So I'd set my board up, leave, and be excited to see what I earned, but the whole time I just wanted to hurry up and come back because I knew I'd make more money if I was there. It balances that push and pull really well. It's that addictive loop where you delay whatever you were about to do for 10 minutes so you can go upgrade your helpers one more time so they can earn faster while you're gone. But then you come back from your errands early so you can check on your earnings and click more coins. I also really like how you can upgrade based on how you want to play. If you plan to sit there at your PC and actively play, you can focus on upgrading coin values and just wave your mouse around making infinite monies. But if you know you're going to idle more, you can invest in more helpers and this hard worker power-up that makes them even more efficient, which I assume is just increasing their caffeine intake every time you press the button. And listen to the sound of all that money flipping. Isn't that nice? Music to my ears. Once you've reached the point where you've got helpers everywhere, multipliers stacked, and you can just lean back and watch your investment rake in piles of cash, it honestly is just really satisfying to watch. Another fun reason to sacrifice and start over is getting a new board to look at. And of course, when I think of gambler's table, I think of a poker table, so that's what I picked for my second board. And even the tables themselves come with unique abilities, like the poker table gives me a 100 times multiplier for every 10th flip of a coin. And I'll admit, at first I did not care about the helper hats and outfits. I thought that was a fun idea in theory, but not really for me. But then I saw a few of them, like here one of my guys is wearing a full jester outfit, and suddenly I'm like, okay, but what else do they have? And that really made me want to find out. The soundtrack is funky and totally serviceable for this goofy gambling game, but I will admit it left me wanting just a little bit more. You spend a lot of time staring at this table, and that's really the only improvement I think I needed from this game. And also, the game is a little short. You can finish it in a day or two if you're really grinding, maybe 3 if you're idling, but also, it's still early. I'm willing to give the devs the benefit of the doubt here because they can always add more content, upgrades, and multipliers. So yeah, I was a little disappointed, but it is too early to hang my head about it. Gambler's Table really works as an idle game, and I'm genuinely excited to come back and see how much my little minions earn for me. But in this game, there's no waiting, no hidden microtransactions, no clicking through ads, constant incentive to keep playing, with some fun cosmetics on top. It's such a simple idea, flipping a coin, but it's clearly made for those with a love for the grind. So what are you waiting for? Get to flipping.